First tonight, reducing the stigma of mental health. The health minister says government continues to decentralize services and expand access across communities. Plus, a new partnership with the National Junkanoo Committee and Tourism looking to bring Junkanooers to Bay Street, not just as rushers, but as owners. And later, Our News is partnering with Automall to give one lucky viewer a chance to win a brand new car. Our Danielle Miller hits up their showroom to take one of their vehicles for a spin. The details for these stories and more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Dozens of healthcare professionals and community leaders gathered at the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church Friday morning for the official opening of the World Mental Health Day Symposium. This year's theme, Access to Mental Health Services in Catastrophic Events and Emergencies, focuses on strengthening mental health care and reducing stigma in times of crisis. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville says government continues to decentralize services and expand access across communities, noting that family support and education remain critical in treating mental illness.
I want us at the end of the symposium to begin to open our eyes to see what's really happening out there. We pass them on a daily basis. And it's becoming so widespread now that our response and our feel for individuals in these crises is becoming dampened. We are a Christian nation, and it's our responsibility to reach out, to provide support, to provide shelter, to provide food, and most of all, provide the essential medical attention that these individuals truly need.
Pan American Health Organization and World Health Organization representative Dr. Eldana Busan commended the Bahamas for integrating mental health into its disaster management and resilience strategy, urging continued investment in community-based care and psychosocial support.
There's steps in the right direction. We have a lot more to do, and we have to go further. We have to strengthen community-based services that remain accessible before, during, and after emergencies. The story we hear of somebody being holed up for 20 years in an institution cannot continue. We must invest in psychosocial support for children, for first responders, and for vulnerable populations. Our elderly are mentally challenged.
Well, President of the Union of Tertiary Educators Bahamas, Daniel Thompson, is calling out Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute Board Chairman Elvin Taylor over unresolved issues that have plagued teachers at the institution. There have been protests outside of the school's gates from as far back as May, Thompson saying terms of an existing industrial agreement have not been honored. Well, speaking on the sidelines of a labor reform town hall meeting this week, Thompson is calling for Taylor to back up his talk.
We encourage him to get a backbone and do what he's supposed to do and stand up for the rights of workers as he believes, as he says he supports, as he very firmly say he agrees with. He simply needs to make it happen. He's the chairman. If not the chairman, then who?
Workers have also called for the resignation of University President Dr. Linda Davis, accusing the school's administrative department of going behind the union's back to issue letters promising contracts outside of the industrial agreement.
And many of the issues have been discussed, but they have not been finally resolved as yet. For example, our critical issue is that of permanent and pensionable employees, the workers at the institution. That is still being discussed. It has not been resolved. And so the union has taken a position. We're giving the management and the board sufficient time to address this matter.
Former Free National Movement Vice Chairman Richard Johnson is pledging once again to never support the Free National Movement again. The former executive jumped ship early this year after months of inter-party fighting. Johnson was seen at the Progressive Liberal Party's South Central link-up dressed in PLP colors, the first time he's shown support for the party in such a way. He says he's fully behind Prime Minister Philip Davis, whom he's publicly criticized before.
So like I would have said on 2 occasions, and I'll say it again tonight, that I'm in support of this government's second term, and I mean that. I'm going to work day in and day out to see that Michael Pinter and Dwayne Sands will ever see the reins of government. And so that's why I'm here tonight, to support the Progressive Liberal Party.
Johnson has been a staunch supporter of former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament Dr. Hubert Minnis. He says he hopes Dr. Minnis regains the Killarney seat in the next general election. And as for criticism that Johnson was quick to switch sides,
The Free National Movement accepted Rithia Kumalafi as the candidate for Carmichael. She's been bouncing around, so I don't think they could speak to me on those moral grounds. I am doing it because it is personal, because those people who lead the F&M personally came at me and personally attacked me. So it's all vengeance for me at the end of the day. It is personal.
this Junkanoo season, the National Junkanoo Committee is launching Junkanoo Festivals. And according to Subcommittee Chairman Anthony Boswick, officials see this as a golden opportunity. The plan, he says, is to hold the festivals between December 18th and January 1st, 2026. Bullock says the committee is partnering with the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Corporation to formulate other aspects to bring Junkanoos to Bay Street, not just as rushers, but as owners.
We have the tourism incubators where Junkanoos from various groups can now come into those incubators and year round. We want to make Junkanoo 365. And that's what this festival is intended to do. 365 days of the year, Junkanoo should be on Bay Street, not just 2 days.
The festivals include other aspects like 2-day events by the Ministry of Tourism, food trucks for Bites on Bay, and even a national services during this holiday season.
We want to make sure that we bring our cruise ship partners back to the table. We want to bring the downtown stakeholders back to the table. The minister is mandated that one of the things we do in terms of getting positive spin-off is that we can create an environment where Junkanoos are key stakeholders.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, government is strengthening its commitment to food security and youth empowerment. We'll tell you about the newest cadet program merging them both. Plus, the Grand Bahamas Children's Home receiving a timely donation that's expected to go a long way. We'll tell you which local company stepped up to assist. Those details when our news weekend returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Senator Darren Pickstock is calling for more young Bahamians to see agriculture as a career of the future. His comments came following the government's rollout of its new agriculture and marine cadet program for high school students at Government High School early this week. Pickstock, who also serves as the chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, says initiatives like these are essential to reshaping how young people view the agriculture sector. He adds that empowering youth through training and exposure is key to strengthening the nation's food security.
We are very excited to know that there are young people who will be picking up this mantle and helping us to develop our agricultural sector, because we have to feed ourselves. It is unacceptable that we consume, that we import 90% of what we consume. That is a national security issue. So we are very excited about this program today, and we are very excited that it is starting at the ground level.
Pickstock says BAIC is committed to helping young Bahamians see agriculture as a career of the future.
This is a cadet program. We know that many agencies have cadet programs, but this is the program of all programs. And you would have heard from the minister inside that the program is being developed. It has been developed where the students were selected from 4 schools throughout New Providence, and they will be expanding this initiative to various other schools. You heard that students will be getting paid, and faculty will be getting paid to run the program, and so we're very excited about this program. This gives students an opportunity to advance and develop themselves in the agricultural field, and they have come forward and they have expressed interest in being a part of this program.
Well, as we just heard, the government is strengthening its commitment to food security and youth empowerment through the launch of the National Agriculture and Marine Cadet Program. Dozens of students from schools across New Providence and the Family Islands gathered at Government High School and on Zoom for the official launch. The program is a collaboration between the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Ministry of Education. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Neil Campbell, says it's all about preparing young people to build a more self-sufficient nation.
You're getting your uniforms. We will ensure that you are adequately uniformed. And you will have your resources. We're even giving you land for your headquarters. We want you to learn how to operate tractors, machinery, equipment, whatever is modernized agriculture and marine assets, we would make sure that you have it. We're also going to make sure that those persons who are involved in coordinating the cadet program in the schools, they receive a stipend.
Under the initiative, participating schools will also receive $2,500 in funding to support their cadet programs. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin praising the initiative, calling it a significant investment in the country's future and a critical step toward national self-reliance.
This has to be the season in which we understand that our reality is not something set in a text or in a script written by someone else. Our reality is an archipelagic state, small island developing, low-lying, subject to the vulnerabilities of climate change, highly dependent on food from third sources. And that if we're going to really grab it by the horns in our national development, we have to go to where it makes sense for us as a people. And today is all about that.
Well, dozens of female students from the Windsor School came together to get a head start on celebrating strength, self-expression, and leadership for International Day of the Girl Child. With the special day falling on a weekend, Saturday, October 11th, the West New Providence School's Girls Empowerment Club held a special event that highlighted the importance of young girls becoming change makers in their community. First Lady Anne Marie Davis telling students that their voices have power and their actions can shape the nation's future, especially in moments of crisis. Also speaking at the event was the school's advisor and counselor, Cherish Hollingsworth.
Girl empowerment is important. Wherever I go, I try to make an impact. And so I've been around education for 20 years. People who know me in education through sports and athletics, they know that I'm not a stranger to girl empowerment nor to women advocacy. I've recently extended my reach into clinical and mental health. So for 5 years, I've also been practicing in that field as a behavioral therapist.
Through the Girl Empowerment Club, students are launching campaigns to promote confidence, emotional well-being, and awareness. For these girls, the session reinforced the leadership begins with self-belief and courage.
I've learned that being a girl is very powerful, and I've been encouraged multiple times just to just be myself, and like the way I carry myself makes an impact in the school.
Just let them know that, hey, it's okay, you're a girl, and yes, there's stereotypes, but you can beat the norm.
All right, well, the Grand Bahama Children's Home receiving a much-needed donation recently, a gesture that will go a long way in helping the children they care for every day. The home provides care for babies, teenagers, and children with special needs. And thanks to Buckeye Bahamas Hub, they'll now be able to do even more. Several of the company's employees visited the home to make the presentation. Executive Director June Hutchinson says the donation will help with everything from daily expenses to the upkeep of the facility.
Each year we spend in excess of $400,000. We're actually sometimes in a deficit to be able to meet that. We do get a small subvention from the government. However, all that we're a non-for-profit, so everything else that we get is to be able to do the upkeep of the home. And so there are always shortfalls in paying salaries and making sure that the light is on, making sure we have grocery, making sure that the children have all of the things that the school would require them along the way to have. Anything in your home is what we would have times 25 that our children require. And it's quite a lot, and I know that the need is always there.
Manager of Government Relations Kim Pratt says the company is proud to continue supporting the home, while board member Fatima Zara Kaboob added this year's donation comes at just the right time, calling it a huge help for the children and staff.
We have been able to support one child for the year, but this year, however, we were able to support 4 children. We recognize the work that the Children Home does in supporting the children, and we are always proud to be supporters of that.
This year they really stepped up and covering the cost of 4 children. I mean, that's $55,000. It's a huge amount of money. It's not something we receive every day, and I just want to sort of really to say really thank you so much.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, Our News and Automall teaming up to put you in a brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta for the holiday season. We've got the details on the campaign's official launch. But first,
it's a weekend of tennis and innovation over at the John McEnroe Tennis Center, and Bahamians hit the court in the pros. Our sports weekend is up next.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Whoa.
Good evening, happy Sunday. I'm Tej Adderley here for our sports weekend. Rain didn't stop the show for the EV Motors Open at Bahamas. They had the event anyway, and we were there.
We bring in cars and sports together. Usually you see basketball, you see baseball's been taken off, but I'm really trying to put my sport back on the map, tennis, and that's what we're here for, to see world-class tennis as well as local talent here.
That's Darren Donaldson, Director of Rackets for Bahamas Resort. He oversaw the proceedings at the inaugural EV Motors Open at the John McEnroe Tennis Center. The event, which was free to the public, started yesterday afternoon, wrapping up earlier today. The tournament is a highly competitive mixed doubles event that saw 16 teams made up of some of our best players hit the court to determine which team was the top one.
Some WTA ranked, former ranked players out here. We have Fed Cup players and Billie Jean Cup players. We have some Davis Cup players out here. So a lot of talent on showcase. We have a lot of interest. We have 16 sponsors that paid over $2,500 to participate in this. So it's coming together, and it shows the support that is out there. and I think we need to keep sports vibrant, and looking forward to a great weekend.
Title sponsor EV Motors had a full-fledged auto showcase on hand as well. They wanted to give a boost to the local sporting community.
Our entire vision and thought process was to create an event where local Bahamian talent can be showcased. We also wanted to create an event where not only local Bahamian talent, but also their family members can come out and support the event. So if you take a look around, there's great sportsmanship going on. It's very intense because people are there, actually Bahamian professionals that are here actually participating, and then some also for recreational activity. So our goal is to be able to bridge that gap that was lacking in the tennis community here at Bahamas. So we wanted to partner with them to be able to put on an event like this.
Now we're back to the court where Bahamians got after it last night. It's preseason basketball in the association, and Klay Thompson dropped 14 points, including making 4 of 7 shots from long range in only 21 minutes. But his Dallas Mavericks lost 112-97 to the Charlotte Hornets. The 2025 number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flagg, had 11 points for the Mavs. Bahamas national team player Sammy Hunter and his team BC Vienna played an Adriatic League matchup against Spartak Office Shoes, a Serbian squad. They lost 79-88. He had 10 points and 5 rebounds. And in France, Hunter's teammate Dominic Bridgewater scored 12 points and dished out 5 assists to help Fort-Provence get an 82-69 win over the Burke-Rangdu Flyers. And that is a wrap for sports this evening. For our sports weekend, I'm Tej Adderley. Have a great holiday. I'll see you next Saturday.
On the other side of this break, will this weekend's wet weather trickle into the work week? Well, meteorologist Ian McKinsey has those answers in your extended forecast. Stick with us.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our evening forecast. Currently outside our studios, we're under cloudy skies with a temperature of 82. Winds from the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Feels like still muggy at 86. Temperatures across the country at this time in our nation's second city, Freeport, we have 79. 81s in Marsh Harbor, Great Harbor Key, Governor's Harbor, Nicholstown, Allenstown, 82 in the capital. Central Bahamas 81s continuing in Kemps Bay and Georgetown, as well as Coburn Town and Arthurstown, Kidd Island. 82s in Black Point, Port Nelson, and Deadman's Key, Long Island. Southeast Bahamas 82s continuing in Duncantown, as well as Colonel Hill. 84 in Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay, Maguana. 85 in Matthewtown, and 86 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Satellite and radar imagery at this time still have this plume of moisture across most of the northwest and portions of the central Bahamas. This is all associated with a stall out frontal boundary that should have pushed through the capital. However, it didn't, so that sparked some extra showers and thunderstorms that will take us into the holiday tomorrow. Taking a look at the tropics right now, the National Hurricane Center is no longer issuing advisories on Jerry, with once Jerry. However, they are monitoring an area of disturbed weather associated with a tropical wave. The system has about a 40 to 50% chance for possible development sometime early into next week or even the ending portion. Boating forecasts, we still have those swells and rip currents out there for you swimmers and boaters. Winds will be west-southwest to west-northwest, 10 to 15 seas, 2 to 4, but up to 6 feet offshore in those swells. High tide at 1:22 a.m. Tomorrow, low tide at 7:19. Central and southeast Bahamas, pretty much the same. We have a caution in place again. Wind southerly 10 to 15 seas, 2 to 4, but up to 6 feet offshore in those swells. In your extended forecasts, rain hanging around into the holiday. Expect that front to finally get south of us, clearing skies into about Friday. A next front pushing through our area. Temperatures should dip down into the mid-80s, folks, with your lows in the mid to low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, the ultimate giveaway is underway here at Cable Bahamas Group of Companies, and we're doing it alongside Automall. The campaign gives our viewers the opportunity to win a brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. Now, during the launch, the Our News team connected with dozens of locals already excited to learn more on how they can win. However, our Danielle Miller wandered off to the Automall showroom floors where she got to test drive one of their high-end vehicles. Take a look.
Deshay, now do you agree that Our News Bahamas is the #1 news station in the country? Of course, that's what made this partnership just so beautiful. And that's the consensus of the executive team of Automall, reiterated by the company's marketing manager, Deshay Wims. This newest partnership gives Our News viewers and Alive customers the chance to win a new 2025 Hyundai Creta just in time for the holiday season. I couldn't resist the urge to window shop. Hyundai has redefined their models, giving you sleek designs, radiating luxury, yet easy on the pocket. Sales professional Miss Arthur gave me a tour of the Hyundai models. But Hyundai is not the only brand the dealership sells. Under their sub-outlets, the company has an impressive collection of some of the best automobiles in the industry. The first is Omega Motors, which houses Mini Coopers and BMWs. Here, I met BMW expert Carvel Wallace, who advised what model would be ideal for me. To put the icing on the cake, Wallace gave me the keys to carry out a test drive. Not to worry, I did not go far in the $90,000+ vehicle. Just down the street to continue my ultimate window shopper escapade at Executive Motors, home to Toyota and Lexus vehicles. From I entered the door, sales associate Nicholas Dyer was eager to accommodate my shenanigans. So, yanking.
Exactly.
Just push the button.
Keyless entry. Heated and ventilated seats. Extremely comfortable in these vehicles. Riding through flooded waters. That's actually a non-issue with this vehicle there.
And Toyota is a very trusted brand.
Lastly, we cannot forget Automall carries the Suzuki and the MG brand. Deshay says the diversity of their showrooms are sure to captivate any consumer.
So many options for so many budgets, so many lifestyles.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller. Thanks so much, Danielle. Looks like a great time. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.